My name is Tony Sisco. I'm owner of Valhalla Disc. My PDJ number is 58833. This is my Team Trilogy in the Bag video. Recently I ran the Carolina Clash and getting one of the courses ready for it, had an accident with a lawnmower, kind of chopped off part of my toe. Most of it's still there, I'm walking around fine, but currently this is the state of my bag. There's nothing in it because I can't play. One thing I can do is sit around the house and putt one-legged with my daggers. Prefer zero mediums. They're still tacky. They're pretty durable. I used to putt with the softs. Softs are what got me started on them, but they just don't hold up as long. They start getting wavy, and that's just a distraction in the middle of my putting that I don't really need. So, found some zero mediums that are tacky. Love them. I have a total of 18 daggers that I putt with. So that's what I get to do right now. Moving on to my drivers. This is the way the bag used to be set up before the accident. My go-to distance drivers. The VIP Sword is my go-to driver. Straight off the shelf, the swords for me are a little bit overstable. They'll fly straight, a lot more fade than they end up. Once they start breaking in, they pop up nice for me. Nice long S, some glide on them. Furthest drivers I've ever thrown. Threw a king for a little while. That thing's got a ton of glide, but I prefer the speed 12 over the speed 14. Same day that I had the accident, I lost my tournament sword, which was the first one that I got. That was my really flippy one. If it had enough air, that thing would just go on for days. If it didn't have that much air, it was almost a roller disc. I just couldn't ever get it to not cut roll whenever it hit. So unfortunately, I still got a gap in the bag right there. I'll have to figure that all out whenever I'm back throwing. Use a recycled sword for a little bit more stability. It's still not broken in yet. So if there's a little bit of wind, I'll grab it instead of the VIP. Before I found the swords, Gold Line Bolt was my go-to distance driver. Still pretty straight driver. If I really get on it, it'll turn a little bit, but it's more straight than my swords are for me. Reliable fade at the end. Most overstable distance driver I carry is a Fluid Moonshine Freedom. Not like the regular Lucid Freedoms. Lucid Freedoms are very, very flippy. The Fluid Moonshine, for whatever reason, is kind of overstable. If I need something a little bit more stable than those three, I'll pull out the Fluid Freedom. Usually stays in the bag most of the time though. My fairways. My turnover fairway is a VIP Sear. Once it breaks in, nice, pops up, fade to the right, great disc. Can't talk enough people into these Opto Malls. I love them. The glide on them is just nuts. I prefer the opaque ones over the clear ones. The opaque ones for me are a little bit more stable, so I can get that nice long S glide out of it. I can get these things on 350, 360, and that's about as far as I throw the swords, unless if I really get into it. This is a lot more reliable for me because it's a slower speed. I don't really do many sidearms. I'm primarily right-hand backhand. Was primarily right-hand backhand. I do throw thumbers, usually for short flick shots that most people use. My Deco Die Spark is my go-to thumber. I use it a lot for skip shots because I can time it better to flare on a stop. If I need a little bit more pan, I step up to the Opto Spark. It's a little bit more overstable, so it'll hold that pan just a little bit longer. But the Deco Die is my go-to. Mid-ranges, turnover mid-range is a Lucid Warrant. A pop-up. Still gotta get the right amount of spin on it for me, but it'll pop up, take off right, it'll come out just a little bit at the very end. Very useful disc. But most of the time, whenever I'm throwing a mid-range, it's the truth. I carry 4 of them in the bag, different plastic, and there's 1 EMAC in there. But I used 2 Fusion Trues, straight off the shelf. They're pretty straight for me, a little bit of fade at the end, but once they start breaking in, they'll start getting a little bit of a right turn out of it. Fortunately, that's what happened to this one at a recent tournament. It was just my straight flyer fade, and it decided it was just going to turn a little bit, and it pretty much finishes straight, but it wasn't what I was going for at the time, which got me throwing my EMAC Truth a lot more. EMAC Truths hold whatever angle you let go of it at, it'll hold it for a while, and then it's got a nice, it will always fade at the end for me. I really like them. And then the one that started it all was a Fluid Truth. Honestly, I bought the disc because it was really pretty. I like the swirls in it. It's a really great disc. Within 2 weeks, smashed chains with it twice. They didn't stick, but that got me sold on Truths. And if you ask anybody in the Charlotte area that knows me, I will try to sell anybody a Truth. Always have to have a Justice in the bag. If you don't have one, don't know what's wrong with you. People claim a gator is overstable. This thing puts a gator to shame. This one's broken in a little bit. You can get a little bit more glide out of it. Since I don't primarily throw flicks because I roll over my wrist, this thing can handle it. You always know what it's going to do. I'm going to skip one here because I'm going to do the opposite of what a Justice is. Just super overstable, using Opto Bite a lot. I was upset whenever they first came out and they weren't PDGA approved. Once they got approved, went straight in the bag. First time around I played at, it was thrown a couple times. Nice little gentle turnover shots. They're great for something you just need a little glide. They're awesome. But even if you want to try putting something into it, they can take a little bit. You gotta let go with some hyzer, but I can get almost 200 feet out of it. Really love this disc. People laugh whenever they see it. Messes with people. I love doing that. Onto my throwing putters. This one just made it back in the bag. Zero medium Cenis. I used to use it a lot for little tomahawk pan shots, which I got to figure those things out again. Recently put it back in the bag because I was playing a course and I knew I needed it, and I'm just trying to put too much on them. Doesn't quite work as well, but even just throwing it, it can take some power behind it, and it's going to hook up at the end. Very reliable disc. To me, it's very comparative to a Harp, but me and a Harp just never got along. I like the Cenises. I just wish they were in better plastic. The Zero line doesn't hold up to trees very well. My other driving putters and approach putters, my go-tos, classic Judges. Don't know what took me so long to start throwing them, but once I did, I never looked back. They've got a lot more glide. I can get a lot more distance out of them than any other driving putters that I've thrown. And I mean, I've got an ace on one of them. I didn't think I had enough in it, and straight in the chain, just float it right in. So these are my go-to driving putters, and I use daggers for putting putters. Hopefully, next few months I'll be back out throwing again. Till then, I'm sitting here putting. Again, name's Tony Sisco, owner of Valhalla Disc, PDJ number 58833.